All right, so this is the new project for the little F-120, my cute little kid snowmobile. I did the 208, and this was just some cheap Chinese. So I'm kind of, this one floated of. It must have been some sticking on this on the actual connecting rod, because I don't know why, it sticks the exhaust valve inside the block. But now this is a Briggs & Stratton 250cc, 11.5 horsepower. Pretty sure the side mount looks about right. The actual length looks close. The actual output for the brake mount looks identical. So let's see. And this one, cool enough, has electric start. Obviously it's not battery operated electric start. You plug it into the wall. Definitely want to incorporate that. But I'm going to measure some things out right here. Right now, I think this is going to be a wicked candidate for an engine swap. So right center to center. Boom, about say 2.5, the easy way to say it right there. I put it 2.5, damn close. I can see it better than in the video. That output means perfect. I can bolt up my brakes. So again, that measurement that I made is the key for bolting up the brakes. Boom, you can't really change that without some major modifications. So now, because that is right, that means my brakes will bolt right up. Yeah, 2.5 respectively. Beautiful. Let's see these side mounts while I'm right here. Pretty much 3 inches right. Maybe a bit less than 3 inch. What is this one? What is this one? Nice. 3 inches. Exactly the same. See mount length. Right in the center. 6 2/3, approximately 6 2/3. Let's see, where does 6 2/3 equal? 6. All right, so that mount is going to be slightly different. So lengthwise, I don't even think that's going to be, that just shows that it's a bigger engine. So because of the length, or I guess in this case, the width of the base for the output, let's see then what I even have overall. All right, so about, boom, to the bottom of that roll. Bottom of that roll again. Yep. And we got about 7 3/4 inch. What do we have? There's a little bit of play in order to put those in there too. 7 3/4. 7 1/4. If anything, those mounts have to be elongated slightly, and this motor will bolt down in there fairly good. To check the replacement on this carburetor. This carburetor is bigger. I will not be able to use my air filter, it looks like, because that's really going to hold it back. But I love snowblowers. What a heck of a filtration system. And this one actually has a really, really kind of ghetto freaking choke system. Oh, look at that. Look at how ghetto that is. So this is going to be a project. This is 11 horsepower until I need to get an impact gun to get this input. Here, let's get this off the crank. When I look down there, I can see the ring. I cannot tell. I'm hoping that that's just a very thin ring, and this is a 1-inch output. If I have a 1-inch output, I can get a I guess a 14-tooth sprocket. Right now, you can see my friggin', what do you call it there, clutch is absolute, centrifugal clutch is absolutely seized on there. So I'm in a new clutch no matter what. This seems to be like the candidate. The exhaust system and everything has got a very nice cover. So basically I should have no problem putting this in. Size wise, I'm gonna probably have to mount or modify the steering in order to clear. But I've got a candidate, and until I'm really got to find out about this input, or this the output shaft, because if it's a 1-inch, I'm gonna have lots of fun. 250cc, it does sit a little bit higher at the spark plug. So like that's a very low boy, 9 inches, and that's sticking just above 10 inches tall. And again, I'm looking under the muffler, under the fuel tank, because all that gets taken off. And until you have the bare necessity, and then you plumb it into your own fuel tank, and then you modify your own throttle. And this one's going to be the cat's ass. Look at that throttle. Freaking awesome. Modify it, have your return spring, which there's one part of it. You can probably put it right onto, right up here actually. There's a return spring. That's actually choke, or sorry, the primer, and the kill switch wire. Beautiful. We're gonna have a real ripping, honking 250 swap ZR. Put all these newer ones to shame. And you'll get her going 50 kilometers an hour. The kid's 9, he should be able to handle 50 kilometers an hour. Well, maybe I won't change the sprockets. I still don't get, I've heard more than a couple times now, people changing their chains. How can that chain wear out? Like, that's an industrial, like grade 1 or grade 2 chain, or I've never had any modification issues with the drive. Just a freaking loud, noisy chain. If it skips a tooth, probably just put a heavier spring or tighten up the spring. Oh man, that's gonna be cool.